Madden also finds that his boyhood hero, Trevor Brooking, is playing for the opposition. It's the West Ham line-out this afternoon, which welcomes back Alan Devonshire, fit again after missing the League Cup defeat at Everton. Madden is one of two 20-year-olds in the Arsenal midfield, the other one being John Kay, and injuries are running side by side with the recent disappointing results. Colin Hill moves to full-back in place of the injured Stuart Robson, and Chris White is recalled to the centre of the defence alongside the new purchase, Tommy Caton. The man in charge this afternoon is Bristolian Eric Reid. It's a crisp, bright afternoon, and a few aspirations blowing in, just a light wind. And both sides looking for restoration of faith after disappointing results in the last fortnight. West Ham attacking the goal to the left, and here in a bit of space is Trevor Brooking. Devonshire goes on ahead, leaving Frank Lampard behind. Came off the head of White. Plenty of room and time for the shot. And it was going for the top corner, though I suspect that Pat Jennings would have claimed it comfortably enough if the head of White had not intervened. Steve Walford has come forward. Finds Witten in front of him, but that's no problem. Charlie Nicholas. Woodcock having a bit of a battle with Alvin Martin. The verdict against Martin for a bit of holding up. Davis and Madden on the ball. Paul Davis celebrated his 22nd birthday yesterday. Madden may well have a crack here, and he's going to. Oh, it's not a bad one either, but it seemed to gain a bit of height rather late. I think Madden thought it was deflected. It certainly rose quite late. Away by White. Addinson. Witten, that's a good try. A lot of power in that. It was a good 20-yarder, and he really thumped it. And Pat Jennings had to adjust his position a little bit, and also, I suspect, adjust his weight a bit too. White. Ten minutes of briskly gone. It's the first London derby of the season at Upton Park. And it's their last match before Christmas at home for West Ham. Well, he'll obviously be able to do it from a wheelchair when he packs up. Witten. Oh, I say. Well, I think Dave Madden didn't know which way Steve Witten was turning, but he made sure he didn't turn either way. Swindlehurst! Well, he was comfortably wide of the mark from Pat Jennings' viewpoint, but a lesson there shortly for Chris White, who allowed Swindlehurst to get in front of him. Sansom. Madden. Davis. Allinson. It's a good ball. Came from Nicholas. Sansom. Certainly the best attack that Arsenal have built. And ending with Kenny Sansom having a shot with the right foot. Didn't quite find the power that he might have wished for. Terry Neill and Don Howe have seen their side slip from 8th from the top to 8th from the bottom in the space of 6 weeks. Stuart Robson and Graham Rix just behind them. Stewart. Witten. Swindlehurst. Pike. And the whistle against Madden, whose challenge on Orr was a bit late. Just took a bit of a flick at him. Stewart, Swindlehurst coming in at the back, and turned in on the far side by Trevor Brooking. Well, that is a bit of a collector's item from Trevor Brooking, because not only was it a header, but it was a diving header when he ended in a fully prone position. And I don't think there have been too many of those during the course of his career. Swindlehurst on the far post from the kicker's viewpoint, heading across the goal where Brooking met it, going down from all fours to flat down. 1-0 to West Ham, and it's been on the cards almost since the game started. In fact, the only surprise is it's taken so long in coming. Woodcock, and Brooking, the defender. And Swindlehurst having a real go at Kay, and he's being very silly. It certainly was an unpleasing challenge, to put it mildly, but that sort of reaction does Swindlehurst no good at all. And Kay is still moving towards the centre of the field. Whether he's going to go all the way or not, I'm honestly not sure, but I think he is. The days of the red cards when everybody knew what was happening are of course past, but there's no doubt now, surely, that John Kay has been sent off. And I think Swindlehurst is going too. John Kay has definitely gone. Swindlehurst walking disconsolately towards the touchline, and he must be really furious with himself for reacting so much to what was clearly a nasty foul. But Swindlehurst has got himself sent off because he wasn't able to keep his temper. Caton's headed clearance. It's to be hoped that the 20 players left on the field will keep their heads. By White. But the crowd are now really adding to the tempo of the match. Here's Devonshire. Maybe it's as well for the match that that went wide and there is a moment of respite. But the fury of the crowd certainly suddenly increased the pace of the match. John Lyle, the West Ham manager, not batting an eyelid. The 20 players go to join the other two in the dressing room, with West Ham holding a 1-0 lead. The goal scored by Trevor Brooking. But the irony of the double sending off of John Kay and Dave Swindlehurst is that on the balance of play to that point, certainly, it's West Ham who've lost the more effective player. Interesting to see whether West Ham can quickly recover the poise, and they certainly lost after losing their centre forward, he having played a vital part in the only goal. Nicholas, Allinson, he's got two to do. Devonshire. Cleanly past Madden. Taken hit out of the play as well. Brooking. Good save. Really good save. But he's had more chances in this match than in many a month of football as Trevor Brooking. Didn't quite get the power then, but Pat Jennings got the big right hand behind the ball. looking once more in the role of front player. Or the Devonshire. Really one man to beat. Yes! And I think it went in off Chris White. Well, once he'd taken on the fullback, Alan Devonshire, he really was in with the shooting chance, and Chris White, trying to cover, put it past Pat Jennings. It's going to be Colin Hill, the Irishman, who's going off. And he's to be replaced by Raphael Mead. So West Ham, 2 goals to the good. The first by Brooking, the second an own goal by White. Woodcock, Nicholas. Oh, dear. Devonshire. There's David O'Leary, one of the Arsenal players on the injured list. Stuart Robson behind him. Graham Ricks, when things aren't going your way. As Terry Neill must be reflecting with his coach John Howe. Everything goes wrong at the same time. Caden. Free kick given for obstruction. His Arsenal career starting with, well, 2 defeats in which he's played, and one crucially on the night before he actually signed. Probably the best of starts. Stewart with a free kick. Martin. Oh, brilliantly tipped over from Steve Walford. So Pat Jennings denying his former colleague, Steve Walford, seeming to give a signal of recognition of the man's talents. Walford, who played 77 league games for Arsenal. Martin coming in again, out by Mead. Pike or White. Whitten, lost out to Caden. Allinson. Davis. Woodcock. Mead. Woodcock. Sansom. Oh, that's not a good header by Martin. Davis! What a superb strike of the ball. I must say it's one of the few consolations for Terry Neill and Don Howe must be that if they could get the balance of this side right, the talents of people like Davis in midfield and Woodcock up front would surely give them something to produce a real side from. And the crowd watching another West Ham victory, 25,118. Devonshire. Brooking. Trying to tee it up, and does. Whitten, and here is Pike. Yes, number 3. And Pike utterly delighted. Trevor Brooking creating the chance, teeing the ball up to flick it over his head. And for the record, the only cameras which would have captured that goal belong to BBC Television, because all the press photographers have already gone, presumably to take photographs of Terry Neill after another Arsenal defeat. Woodcock. Won by Davis. He's had a good match as Paul Davis. Mead. Wasn't a good cross, and it wasn't a good clearance either. White. And White, at least, has managed to chalk off the goal that he conceded at the other end. But a goal it is. And it's White and not Woodcock who has the consolation. But that is the final action of the match, in which West Ham, for long periods, outclassed Arsenal. It has to be said, a patchwork Arsenal albeit. Trevor Brooking, some delightful moments from him, including the first goal. An own goal by White gave West Ham a 2-0 lead. Pike seemed to have made it decisive at 3-0, and decisive indeed it was, but at least Chris White had the consolation of getting a goal right at the death. Final score, West Ham 3, Arsenal 1.